What is up, Ravens flock? Huge shout out for your support for the 410 Sports Talk. James and Glenn are the best in the business. They're killing it right now. They love talking Raven talk. Make sure you go subscribe to their channel. Let's go Ravens. Big trust.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm Glenn Martin here with my co-host James Haskell, who I just cut off doing the intro because I'm so excited about this show tonight.
Yes.
We are going to do a complete first-round mock draft, picking for all 32 teams. Well, I guess all 32 teams don't have a pick. Well, we were making all 32 picks in the first round, not just the Ravens, which, of course, is the team we typically cover. But I'm excited to get into this because this draft, it's got a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of key spots that I think could be interesting picks. And here's how we're going to do it. So we're going to alternate back and forth. Jimmy's going to take what? Are you going to take number one? You want to start? And I'll go two?
Sure.
All right. So Jimmy's going to start. He's going to have all the odds. I'm going to have the evens. The only difference is the one odd I will have is number 31, who the Ravens, the pick the Ravens just acquired from the Kansas City Chiefs in exchange for Orlando Brown. So we're going to alternate back and forth. And correct me if I'm wrong, we have two exceptions, right? We can jump in and stop the other one if we feel passionate. We can do that twice, right?
Yeah. Two times where you think I'm wrong, you're wrong, this is the wrong, because we want to be as accurate as possible. So, because last year we got 15 out of the 32 players right. Now, not the teams and things like that, but we want to improve on that. I think we got 11 exact picks right.
Which, by the way, I think Mel only had 4.
Right. So we do pretty dang good over here, and we want to improve on that this year. But before we get into it, one thing I want to do, Glenn, today I sent a messages to all of our patrons that are part of the voting rights that they get for our shows, and then also the exclusive show that we do just for the patrons and things like that, asking for their questions and such, and then also potential guests and stuff. And I was going through the list, and I had to scroll down. And I just kept thinking in my mind, I'm so grateful for our awesome it's so cool that they support the show, and we appreciate you guys for that. So I'm just going to run down all of them real quick and shout out to all of them. So I'm going to go from the very first all the way up. So we're going to start with your brother, Thomas Martin. Shout out. Appreciate it. Ben. Number 2. Tony, of course, who we have on the show every month.
Tony Thornton.
Tony Thornton. He'll be at our draft party. Charles Collins, huge shout out. Darren Verplug. Sorry, Darren, if I didn't say that correctly, but we love you either way and appreciate the support. Daniel Kunimoto, we know him. Oh, yeah. He's really good at picking the over-unders. He's like our over-under king. Rich France.
Franchise.
That's right. Another friend, John Kim. Shout out to you, Adam James Ring, one of our active participants in the live sessions.
Yep.
Our guy Billy Seals, same thing, active there and always sending us messages, and we appreciate that. Josh Myers, huge shout out. Nana Rave,
always in here keeping us straight.
Nana Rave is always raving about the Ravens. Nico, shout out. Q Hut, Gareth M. Cross from Ireland, who tried the McBanger.
Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and he got sick. Dedication to the McBanger. Jimbo. He said he liked it, but he got sick. Nico Solano from Ravens Flock South down in Florida, sports fan gal, shout out, and our newest patron, of course, who gave a shout out to our last show, Mark Wilson. I was just going through and I was like, you know what, Glenn, this is so awesome to have this community. We appreciate all you guys, patron or not. We just appreciate you guys. So
and all our fans, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, let's get into this.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
I'm on the board first, right?
You are on the board, and this is going to be a tough pick for you, Jim, but I don't know where you're going to go with this one.
Let's see. I'm going with Trevor Lawrence, baby.
Okay.
Pick number 1.
A no-brainer. Now, any chance? Now, you know what?
No.
Okay.
No chance.
Okay. All right. Let me just stop there. All right. Same with me. I don't think there's any intrigue at number 2. It's going to be Zach Wilson, QB out of BYU. Let's pencil him in. Zach Wilson is off the board. Now, this is where things get interesting. And it seemed like reports come out every day talking about where the Niners are going to go here. So I'm interested to see what you end up going with.
Man, everyone is talking about this, and I started to waver today and think it's going to be Mac Jones. Mel Kiper said it's going to be Mac Jones today, but I'm not coming off my pick.
No?
I'm not. I'm going right with Justin Fields. I think it would be an absolute mistake if they take anyone but Justin. I don't care about, they talk about him being a fit and talk about Mac Jones being similar to this past quarterback, to Matt Ryan, to this, that, and the other. I don't care. Justin Fields is better.
Do you think this is some smoke screens by the Niners? Or
Yeah, he literally said today he can't guarantee who will be alive by the time of the draft.
What?
Kyle Shanahan said that today.
Well, to me, all I keep hearing is that he's not even in the running. That it's Mac or it's Trey Lance. But you're going Justin.
Going with my gut here. It's Justin Fields. They can't come off this kid. I'm sorry. He's just better. Don't complicate it. End of story.
Okay, I like it. I think he's a great player and has all the intangibles.
So you don't want to use an objection there?
Not yet. I'm going to save my objections till a little bit later.
All right.
So pick 4, this one's another one that has a lot of intrigue. People are wondering, are they going to take the quarterback of the future? Are they going to trade back and acquire some more picks and still get a top player at a different position? To me, I think the rumblings of hearing, Julio Jones might be on his way out. And even if he isn't, he's an aging player with a high contract. And I'm not sure how much he has left. He's been battling a lot of injuries. So I think they replace the freak of nature that is Julio Jones with another freak of nature, and they get Kyle Pitts to thrust into this Arthur Smith offense, and now they got 2 monstrous tight ends, Hayden Hurst being the other one, and of course Calvin Ridley and Julio, if he's still there, on the outside. Yep. And man, that is one scary looking offense. So I'm going to go Kyle Pitts, the freak tight end out of Florida.
Yep, no objections there, except it makes me respect Vernon Davis for running a faster 40 decades ago than Kyle Pitts, who's an absolute freak. Maryland Terp, of course, himself, Vernon Davis. But I am going here, and let me know if this is an objection. I know there's the LSU connection with Jamar Chase and all these things and wide receivers and this, that, and the other. No, Brian McKinney said it. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. You buy the Lamborghini, you got to pay the insurance. Penei Sewell is my pick here. Do you have an objection?
I do. My first objection, and the only reason is that they just brought over Riley Reif to play right tackle from Minnesota. Right. And 2 years ago, they drafted Jonah Williams to play left tackle for him. He missed his first year with an injury, struggled again. But I don't think they're willing to give up on a top 10 pick after just 2 seasons.
So you think they're going to go Jamar Chase? Right? You're right.
No, I'm not necessarily saying that. They could go your guy, Devontae Smith. I know you like him. But look, if they did pair Jamar Chase back up with his former quarterback, and when they had insane success in LSU, I don't think it would be a bad thing. When you look at that receiving core, they got some talent. But do they have that true number 1? I'm not so sure. Jamar would be that.
Now, let's say this. I think we both agree. We're not going to do trades, but this is a prime trade candidate.
Oh, absolutely. This is a team that has a lot of holes. And they could look to trade back and acquire a bunch more picks and fill those holes this year.
All right. So with the objection, the way that it works is
you have to come off of it.
Yeah, I'm off of it. I'll accept.
Now you can still pick another guy, but you cannot take Penei Sewell.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jamar Chase.
Okay.
I think the other guys would be too rich. I think Jamar Chase is a little rich here, but anyway, I'll go with Jamar Chase. I'm all right with that. Your pick here with the Miami Dolphins. I wanted to say the Philadelphia Dolphins. Oh, it's because I see the Philly down at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what? Why did that come to my brain? I'm ridiculous. All right.
Yeah, and I think that they go offensive line, and maybe I use my exception to then steal this player right from you.
Of
and
course.
Now I'm drafting Penei Sewell because they're tackle needy. They need to protect their investment in Tua Tagovailoa. And who better to do that than Penei? So I think they go Penei right here. That's right. Now.
Well, I'm going to agree with you here, and I'm also going to say that the penne feta pasta at Noodles and Company, go get it. Penne rosa is what it's called, and it's incredible. All right, I agree with you on that one.
And so the Lions are on the clock. What do you got? Of course, they just lost Kenny Galladay to the Giants.
They picked up in the trade. They got their quarterback of the future.
Maybe. I mean, he's still young enough. Maybe.
Woo!
Old Jared Goff is looking to revitalize his career in Detroit.
Would you say another possible trade down candidate here for Detroit?
I think it's possible if somebody's looking to get a quarterback, but I don't think they'd go far. I think maybe not. Maybe the Broncos jump up and get that spot. Or
all right. Well, if I'm staying right here, I know they have a lot of holes, but I'm going right to wide receiver. I'm going to the best wide receiver in the draft, Devontae Smith. Are you objecting again?
No, I like it. I think they need.
I was thinking about Trey Lance, but
look, they lost Marvin Jones to the Jaguars.
Yep.
And then they lost Galladay. So who do they have left at the receiver position? I think they're pretty desperate here, huh?
Yep. Yeah, okay. I agree with you.
All right, Devontae Smith is now a Detroit Lion. So now the Carolina Panthers on the clock at number 8. Of course, they just traded for Sam Darnold. I see that there's some weapon. They're saying that one of their needs is wide receiver. Now, I know that they have Robbie Anderson, who I think is an underrated guy, a guy who can, rekindle that connection he had with Sam Darnold back when he was a Jet, and that could happen again. Of course, DJ Moore, Turk, we know he can ball. So I do think they go offense here after picking, I think, 10 or 12 defensive players and 0 offensive last year. So while I'm tempted to go with the best defensive player in the draft, I think they go offense here. The question is, do they go with Jalen Waddle, or does the injury concerns bother them?
Right.
And really, do they need a wide receiver? I'm not so sure it's as big a need as what I'm seeing on here.
Now, they did lose Curtis Samuels, and he was highly productive last year.
He was, but not. I don't think Jalen Waddle really replaces the skill set that he had. I think Jalen Waddle is kind of like Robbie Anderson's skill set, that home run threat down the field. But you know what? I think they grab him. I think they grab Jalen Waddle, and the reason is Robbie Anderson's a good player, but are they going to commit to him long term? I mean, I'm not really sure. I don't know if you can pass up on Waddle right here, although I do think that they could very well buck the whole system and go corner. You know what? Am I going to go corner? You did? You went with
Waddle. Sorry.
Waddle? No, that's fine. I think Waddle's a good pick. I'll stick with Waddle. Cool.
All right. So right here it gets a little interesting. I think we've literally gone. Did we go rank down the board as far as? No, we didn't, because Kyle Pitts was 4 and we had Penny going to 6. Okay. So we're pretty close though, but here's where it starts to get interesting, because I think the Broncos here see old Mac Attack sitting on the board, and they take Mac Jones out of Alabama.
Wow.
I don't know. Alabama. Any objections?
I don't, because they are desperate to find a quarterback. Yep. I just don't think they have a starting franchise quarterback there right now, despite some people believing in Drew Lock, but I'm not one of them. So, okay, Mac Jones?
Yep, Mac Jones.
I like it.
Not Mike Jones, Mac Jones.
That's right. And now, to me, the Cowboys, as much as I know Jerry World, I know they love adding offensive players. They bring in CeeDee Lamb last year. I don't know how they don't go defense here. And to me,
it's so bad.
They could go, and they could go a number of different places. I think they could go in the defensive front because they were getting ran on like it was nothing. I also think they could go in the secondary and add some guys there. And edge is another, area of need. But to me,
let me guess here. Are they going Surtain?
Man, I don't like when you guess my pick correctly, but I do think they're going to go Surtain here. They need a corner. They need one bad. They lost. Who'd they lose to the Jaguars last year? Byron Jones.
Mm-hmm. I think he went to the Dolphins, didn't he?
The Dolphins. That's who it was. Yeah.
Another Florida team.
I think they go Patrick Surtain the second.
All right. I almost picked Christian Barmore there. Good thing I called that. All right. So the Eagles have a lot of needs. They've already traded.
Hold on. The G-Men.
Oh, geez, a whiz.
The G-Men.
Eyes are not working today. So, look, they have a lot of offensive line needs. Obviously, we picked up Zeitler. Slater has been, so this one is an easy one for me. I think they go Rashawn Slater here out of Northwestern. Oh, geez, a whiz. Slater. That's what I was thinking the pick is. Who's Solder? Sorry, excuse me. Solder hasn't, he opted out and hasn't been. He's got a ton of money, but hasn't been all that they hoped he would be. And then they lost Zeitler. So they have needs at tackle and guard. I think they try and protect old Danny Dimes, get those turnovers down, get him more comfortable in the pocket. I don't think it'll work, but I think they take Rashawn Slater. Any objections?
No, none at all. I think he's going to be a good player. I think they need the help, no doubt about it. They need to protect and give some lanes for old Saquon.
Yep.
All right, so you're going to go Slater there. All right, fair enough. So now the Eagles are officially now on the clock, and it's a big draft for them. I mean, they have a lot of turnover, and I think they're a little unsure still at the quarterback position, but I don't think they
and the Eagles
that.
fans have no faith in their GM, so lots of pressure.
Yeah, a lot of disappointment that the Peterson situation ended the way it did, as well as Carson Wentz. So they got some holes, but to me, I think they fill one of their major holes in the middle of their defense, and they take who some say is the best defensive player in this draft. I like Micah Parsons here. I think Micah Parsons checks a lot of boxes. You need an athletic linebacker in this day and age with all the every team using their tight ends in a pass catching role more and more, it seems, every season. You need a guy that can cover some ground in the middle, as well as that sideline to sideline speed. So I go Micah Parsons here.
Yeah, and I have no objection here, only because I feel like with even though they haven't declared him the starter, with Hurts under center, I think that they're going to do their best impression of the Baltimore Ravens offense, and wide receiver might not be a top priority.
Right, that's a good point.
So even though they have no one at wide receiver right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty bare cupboard.
Yeah, but
they got Jalen Reagor. Remember, we liked him last year.
That's
I know
true.
he had some injury issues, but I think if he can stay healthy, he can be a player.
That's a good point. All right, so pick is in, Micah Parsons. All right, so we've talked about Herbert, and he's got quite the future, the gunslinger himself, and they're going to want to do everything they can to protect him. I mean, I think this one is another simple one. You take the best tackle on the board. The best tackle on the board is Christian Darrisaw. I don't know if I see another tackle out there that's at this point in the draft. I mean, unless you like Elijah Vera Tucker, but I'm taking Darrisaw here and feeling good about it. Any objections?
No, only it was pretty much whoever you picked here, I was going to pick the other guy next. So no, there's no objections. Although I think I would have preferred if you would have left Darrisaw to me. But no, I'm going to quickly grab the other guy you mentioned, and I'm going to take Elijah Vera Tucker.
Really quickly, though, just to I don't know, this will not be a formal objection because I'm not objecting, but Tevin Jenkins is one of the guys we've really liked. But I guess he's a solid right. You're looking for a left.
He's a solid right. Now, a lot of people think Elijah Vera Tucker might get moved into guard. End up being right. But they're needy across the O-line in Minnesota. So either way, no matter where you put them, I think they need help. So I'm going to go Elijah Vera Tucker here.
All right. Like it. Well, this is an interesting one. Old Bill's on the clock. He doesn't want Trey Lance.
You don't think so? I mean, look, he could learn behind Cam Newton. Similar skill set. What do you think? No?
I don't think he can get away from, I mean, Bill likes the big boys up front. Him and Saban are buddies.
They also need some help on that back end, and Morig is still there.
Is sitting there, and he loves himself some Ed Reed. Not that Morig is Ed Reed, but he loves himself some.
And McCourty, he's been a staple, but he's getting old.
Oh man!
I could also see a corner here. Wouldn't shock me at all with Gilmore aging and J.C. Horn sitting there, who's a pretty daggone good man cover corner. What are you going to do here? This is a toughie.
This is a toughie.
And they can't draft anyway. I mean, they're
right. All right, I'm taking Morig just because of this first sentence right here, to be honest with you. Has some of the best ball production you'll see from a safety prospect. Done. Okay. Because
I like it.
Literally, I know for a fact that Bill Belichick's favorite player of all time is Ed Reed.
Yeah, that wasn't on his team. Yeah, I think his favorite player of all time. It better be Tom Brady. Because holy smokes.
It's definitely not. Because Bill's a defensive guy.
Yeah, but he carried. You know what? Let's not go down that lane. You know how I feel about old Billy.
That rabbit hole.
Yeah. So Morig, all right, he's your guy. So we're gonna move on to the Arizona Cardinals.
And Trey Lance is dropping, ladies and gentlemen.
He is dropping. No surprise to me. I think he could be a candidate to drop because look, the last time we saw him wasn't very good, and the other times, while good, still limited tape. So this is an interesting one to me because I think they need some help in the secondary. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they lose Patrick Peterson?
They did. Yep. And
I think J.C. Horn would slide in just perfectly and replace Mr. Peterson. So I'm going to go J.C. Horn here.
I'm trying to think of an objection because it would be nice to see Barmore plugged in up front with J.J. and Jones.
Yeah.
Also, they need help at. All right. I'm going to hold my objections because It's going to get more difficult as the draft goes on.
That's right. All right, so we're going to go J.C. Horn here, and you're on the clock with the Raiders.
Oh, Jesus. This is the hardest pick in the draft every year. Holy heck. You know what, Glenn?
What's up?
He's reaching down. Oh, is he? He would reach, right? Like Chucky would reach.
Oh, yeah.
And he loves himself some nasty.
Oh, man. Don't do it. I think you're right, though. I think you're totally right.
I'm dying over here. I'm going with Tevin Jenkins, the nastiest tackle in the NFL draft this year. I know it's a reach.
It's not, though. I don't think.
Tevin Jenkins is a great fit for Oakland, and he is a dog. So I think he'd love playing for old Chucky out there in the desert.
As much as I want to have an exception here because I want the Ravens to get Mr. Tevin, I think you're right there. I think he would be perfect. They are desperate.
Now, one other thing to note. If I'm not mistaken here, we have not taken an edge guy yet. Kwity Paye is still on the board, Glenn.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm about to solve some of your problems here with my pick.
No.
Because number 18, the Miami Dolphins, they don't go Kwity Paye. They go Jalen Phillips because here's why. They need a guy who can drop in coverage, who can stuff the run and can pass rush. Similar with the Ravens asked their outside, and of course the New England Patriots asked their outside linebackers. They're the two that asked them to drop the most. Well, look, they need it as well. So I think they go Jalen Phillips because he's the most ready at that position. Jalen's their guy.
Hold on. I'm trying to think if I want to object.
Okay. I'll see what you got.
It's hard not to. He's a local guy. But that's a stretch for a guy with an injury history.
You think so?
And it's a touchy thing, right? Because one doctor says you're out, man.
Yeah, but one like says you're in.
You're in.
You're the number 18 pick.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna roll with it.
They just lost. Who'd they just lose? The linebacker that came with him.
Yeah, Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah. They need to replace it.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right. I'll live with it.
Okay.
For now. So and in perpetuity, not just for now, apparently.
Yeah.
So the Washington Redskins are about to draft
the Washington football team.
Oh, geez, a whiz.
You watch your tongue using those racial slurs.
You're right. I apologize. But the Washington football team is about to get their quarterback of the future here. If Trey Lance is on the board, I'm taking him right here because they need a quarterback. And as long as Riverboat Ron believes in this kid's character, I think he takes him. So I'm going Trey Lance unless you got an objection here, Glenn.
You know, the only way I would have had an objection is if you didn't take Trey Lance because I think you're right. I think he's the perfect guy to learn under. To learn under Fitzpatrick. And I think, unfortunately, Fitzpatrick, he might be in some sort of another quarterback controversy by the midseason mark. So we'll have to wait and see there. All right. So my pick, look, Chicago Bears, they need a lot of help, but mainly that help is in the quarterback room. And I don't think Andy Dalton, the old red rifle, is much more than a short-term Band-Aid.
Are you taking a quarterback here?
But there's no quarterbacks available right now that would get the value back. So I think they're going to have to find their quarterback of the future at a later date. Also, wide receiver. I mean, they still have Robinson. I think they got a young who's the young guy? They were talking, about maybe shopping. I'm blanking on his name here. But I think they need help in a lot of spots. But to me, the Chicago Bears they're known for some cornerbacks, right? I mean, they've got a long list of talented corners in their history. And I think they may look at this guy as the best corner in the draft if you take away some of the injury concerns. And I think they go Caleb Farley, cornerback out of Virginia Tech, and they slide him right in. And he's a heck of a player as long as that back injury checks out. And I think it will for them.
Wow. You know what? I can't object. And my next pick's going to be quick.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kwity isn't going to fall to 20. I mean, he's too much of a raw talent. And not only a raw talent, when you learn about this kid's story, talk about grit and adversity and want to and desire. I mean, going from a refugee camp to an NFL prospect. Look,
crazy.
I mean, yeah, obviously we remember what Ziggy Ansah did coming into the NFL while he's been riddled by injuries. That kid was an extreme athlete. And I feel like Kwity Paye is an extreme athlete as well. And if you watch some of his tape, he's made big plays and big moments in his career at Michigan. So I don't see him. They need it. They might lose Justin Houston. I know they need offensive line help as well, but I don't think there's any way they can pass up on Kwity Paye.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, I'm no objections there.
All
I
right.
think, yeah, we'll see what happens there.
You only got one left there, Buckaroo.
I know. I'm saving it for a good one. I wonder if you're going to use yours here. This is another team I think could go a couple different ways. Of course, they lost Corey Davis this past off season. They need some help on the offensive line. It looks like they lost pretty much all their corners, and for that reason, I'm going to take the last remaining. I think first round cornerback that's out there. And I think they go Greg Newsome out of Northwestern to replace, was it Malcolm Butler and the fast
Adoree Jackson.
Yeah, Adoree Jackson. They need help there.
I agree with you 100%. I can't find myself disagreeing with this because, yeah, like you said, they need a ton of help.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, what do you got next?
All right, let's take this
Jets, Jets.
Ooh, so you got your quarterback of the future.
Yep. At least you think.
Yeah.
I know you have your own feelings on him.
Yeah, he's not, but you are the Jets, so you swing and miss. It's just what you do.
Poor Jets.
Poor Jets. So this is interesting. They need offensive line help.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is another prime trade back candidate.
Yeah.
Candidate. There's 2 D's in there, right?
Yeah, I would think you could look at somebody wanting to jump up back into the first round here, no doubt.
But I'm gonna stick and pick here, and I am going.
You're waffling. I can tell. You're bouncing a few names in your head, aren't you?
I am.
It's not easy.
No, you get later down here, and I mean, I'm surprised Christian Barmore has found his way still on the board.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen, but in this mock it did.
Asante Samuel Jr.
Another good one.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going with Aziz, the edge defender out of Georgia. I think he's polished. He can come in and be an impact player.
I think that's an awesome pick. I was going to use my exception on you in here, and I was going to make you pick that guy. Because, look, if he's not he wants a Joey Bosa. I mean, this is Robert Salah coming over from the Niners, and he wants some bookends, and I think he's one of them.
Yep.
Okay, I like it. Man, I thought I was going to have to get you there. I was ready to pounce. Now, this one's interesting.
See, I might have to object on you because I already think, I know where you're going.
You think you know where I'm going. I don't know if you know where I'm going, all right? To me, I mean, they need some help, okay? They need some help on the offensive line, right? I think we agree there. But, they need it's so hard for me not – I know who you think I'm going to pick, and it's Najee Harris, and I'm not going to pick him. I'm not going to pick him only because I don't think I'm looking at the teams behind him, and I think he'll still be there. I don't see the Jags. They're not taking him. Obviously, the Browns aren't taking him. We're not – the Ravens aren't taking him. The Saints ain't taking – I'm looking down the list, and I see he could drop a bit. So I'm gonna do the smart move, which is what the Pittsburgh Steelers typically do, is the smart move. And I think they're gonna go. Man, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between a couple offensive linemen here because
Whittle's had the injury. I mean, Whittle. Jeez, it was Walker Little. I just combined his first name and his last. I said Whittle. Walker Little's had the injuries. He's had the injury bug. Dylan Radins is relatively slight. It's crazy to say that at 300 pounds, he's slight.
Mm-hmm. It is a little crazy.
But he could step right in for Alejandro Villanueva.
I think they do have a guy, and I think his name is Alex Leatherwood, the tackle out of Alabama. I like the guy. He played it on a big stage. Some people say he's a little thin. Well, I think some people said that about Alejandro. Now, he's 6'9", and that helps. But I think that he can put on some strength. And then after that, you got yourself a heck of a player. So I think they need to address the offensive line. They do that with Alex Leatherwood.
All right, I'm taking him.
All right, put him in.
No objection yet. Yet. All right. On to the Jags. Of course, they have their quarterback of the future in their Trevor Lawrence. Man, this is an interesting one because you see right there as one of their needs being tight end, and I think about mini Gronk out of Penn State, but once again, that would be a serious reach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the small school kid out of North Dakota State, Dylan Radins here at tackle. I know a lot of people are high on Little, but I can't get over that. I think if I'm not mistaken, he had back-to-back years of injuries.
Okay.
And so I'm going with Dylan Radins here, unless you have an objection.
That's a lot of we got a lot of tackles going, man. We got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tackles. This will be the 7th tackle going. Do I want to jump in here? Man, let me just think for 1 sec. Let me think if I want to jump in here because
what are you considering? Talk this through with me.
Well, I think that there's some. If you look on the defensive side of the ball, they got that Jeremiah, the linebacker out of Notre Dame, Owasu Karamoa, I believe his name is. I love cover. I love linebackers that can cover.
Now they got Miles.
They got Miles, but they lost Telvin Smith.
Yeah.
And really, they were dominant together. Man.
That's a good point. That's a really good point, actually.
And he's a good player. I don't know here's the thing. Because some people say Jeremiah is the best linebacker and some people say Micah Parsons, but regardless, you're getting the number 2 or the number 1 guy. If you're taking the tackle, you're getting the 7th tackle off the board. Now they might have him ranked as the 4th or whatever, but regardless, you're not getting a top 2 guy at a position. So do you want to reach for need, or are you thinking, man, I'm a Jaguars team. We're not expected to win this year. Let's take the best player on the board and not really worry too much about need right now.
Well, if they're taking the best player on the board, Christian Barmore's sitting there. And that's insane. Not that once again might not be an absolute need, but that's a great point. They're in rebuild.
What are you going to do?
My gosh. I'm going with Barmore. I'm changing my mind. I'm not going tackle. I'm going Barmore because you convinced me that it's about best player and look, Barmore at 25. I don't care who you got on the line. You're feeling
maybe
good.
Thrilled.
Yeah. So you're right. All right. Who are you going with? The old Brownies.
Yeah, the Brownies. I think
I just stole their guy too. By the way,
I know because I was definitely going to take
Richardson.
Him. Yeah, I would have taken him as soon as you said. I would have taken him right away. But I think that the Browns, while they did just add Clowney, I don't think they're counting on Clowney. I don't think that's a player they're counting on. So I could see them going edge here. However, they are desperate to fill the linebacker position. I mean,
Jeremiah.
That's the glaring weakness on their roster, right? So I think they go Jeremiah, and I think they are thrilled to see him sitting there. So I go Jeremiah there. And here's where things get interesting, Jimbo, because you're on the clock with the Baltimore Ravens, your Baltimore Ravens, and in a draft that was just made a whole lot more important after the trade of Orlando Brown Jr. to the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm interested to see where you go here. No pressure.
No pressure. And earlier today, Mel Kiper said it was Todd, right? Todd McShay, who said that everything he's hearing the Ravens are absolutely with one of their picks going with a wide receiver.
And one of their top picks, their top 2 picks, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and to me, the other need other than wide receiver, of course, is tackle. We got to replace Orlando. So you look down the boards, and in our draft, we've had a run on tackles.
Had a run. Do you want the 5th, 6th, 7th guy? I don't know about that.
We also need some edge guys, but I don't know if Gregory Rousseau. I'm not touching Jason Owe with a 10-foot pole.
I agree there.
Oh my gosh, I'm dying.
I love that you have to. I'll be doing this with 31. Maybe not. Maybe I'll have an easier pick.
I can't believe I'm about to do this, and all we've done is bash this kid before the draft. I'm going with Rashad Bateman.
Whoa.
I'm going with Rashad Bateman. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I do believe that of the top tier, the remaining wide receivers, I think the only guy that's a better route runner than him is Devontae out of Alabama. as far as being a technician.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that with the new wide receiver coaches that we brought in, they value the heck out of that. They're going to be chirping in these guys' ears and these these talent evaluators' ears in the front office. I'm sure they're not in all the rooms and all the meetings. They're new to the team and things like that, but they've got to look at that like nobody else.
Yeah.
And so physical ability is one thing, measurables, speed, all those things. But if you can get open with your technique, it's a much more reliable way, consistent way to get open.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I'm going with Rashad Bateman unless you have an objection.
I tell you what, I was saving my objection for this pick because I was going to force your hand to make you take a wide receiver. So I don't have to use my objection. I love that you took a receiver. And I think it was between him and Terrace Marshall, if I'm correct.
Yep.
And I would have been fine you going either way, but I like the point you brought up. You said that he's a tactician as a route runner, and I think you're 100% right. And I think that's intriguing. I think that when they're drafting a receiver or when they're sorting their board and placing their receivers and ranking them, I think you got to believe that they have Keith Williams and they have T. Martin right next to them looking over their shoulder, and they're giving their opinions. And I think when they both see Rashad, they see a much more polished, much more ready receiver. Now, the only thing that worries me is they might, as a coach, they might say, give me the one who's bigger. Give me the one who's, the more prototypical size, speed, and weight, and I'll work on that route running, and I'll improve that route running. The only thing that worries me about Bateman is that he keeps getting smaller. I mean, every time we see him, we see a listed weight, and then they finally come out the pro day. He's only 6 foot tall. He's like 185, 190. That has me a little concerned. However, I do see that he lost some weight when he contracted COVID, and maybe he's just struggling to put that back on. We know the diet system, the meal plans that the Ravens will have you on. I don't think those issues will occur here. We have the best strength and conditioning program in the league, in my opinion. So I agree with you. Rashad Bateman is the guy. No objections here, Jimbo.
And one thing to bolster my point here, I think if the Ravens were just a height, speed, and weight team, if they were just that, why on earth would they have taken Hollywood in the first round? Now, I know he's got the speed and things like that, but he's not ideal measurables. You got DK Metcalf on the board, for goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So that gives me a look into their thought process behind who they want, right?
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Ravens. I can't believe I just made that pick. But
I know, because we have not been doing that. We haven't been taking a receiver at all until just now.
Yeah, but all my guys are off the. You took Jalen Phillips off the board early. Kwity Paye's off the board. Tevin Jenkins off the board. I mean, look, it's what I could do. So all right, Glenn.
Happens.
Yeah,
I think another run has just begun, and I think a receiver here leaves as well. And I think a spark plug, a guy that can fill a lot of holes for a team, and would fit really nice in this offense as a change of pace from what Michael Thomas brings on the outside. Kadarius Toney, to me, is the perfect pick here because he can fill your need at returner as well as give you that boost as a receiver. So I'd go Kadarius Toney here.
Now, I might object only because isn't Elijah Moore a slot guy as well, that has a similar skill set? He might not be as quite as explosive, but couldn't he complement? Yeah, see? Ooh, Glenn.
What's up?
I might object you here.
Well, then what does that mean? Does that mean I have to pick the guy you like, or I just can't pick that guy?
Right, it means you can't pick that guy.
Well, I'm not going to pick the guy you like just because you took my guy away. I'm going to be petty.
Wait, but we want to be accurate here.
I think he's I think my guy, I honestly,
jeez.
I think Kadarius Toney is accurate, but I'll go different here. That's fine. I got to pivot. I can pivot. I'm going to go Rondale Moore.
Hold on. Can I take my objection back?
Yeah.
The only reason I want to take my objection back, sorry guys that I'm waffling here, is because I just realized that Toney is going to be going to play for probably the most creative play caller in the league. He found a way to make Taysom Hill something in the NFL because he's an athlete. He's just a football player. And I think that Toney is that guy.
Dude, he's watched Kadarius. This guy is he's tough.
Like Percy Harvin-esque, right?
Yes, exactly.
Not Percy Harvin. I mean, Percy Harvin was incredible, but I don't want to,
No, I think you're right. I think it's a good comparison because they got him the ball any way they could. They jet sweep. They get him the quick screen. They'll hit him with a quick slant. And this guy is a tackle breaking machine at his size. Run you over. I mean, this guy will do everything.
And Sean Payton's gonna do that and then some. So while
and explosive as a route runner, dude. I'm talking explosive. Gets separation. Has burst. I like Tony. I just don't. I don't like him for a Raven because I think we got some guys with a similar skill set. But I think he would fit in nicely there.
I think Elijah Moore is a better typical slot receiver, but I think that being that it's the Saints, I'm gonna withdraw my objection. Withdrawn.
Nice. All right, Kadarius Toney is the guy. All right, now.
And this is where I'm taking Elijah Moore to complement their big receiver over there, their true X over there, and I'm going with Elijah Moore, the complement to their number one over there. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name? He went to Fresno State. Devontae Adams. There you go.
Yeah.
Man,
okay. I like a lot. I hope they finally do something. But the only thing that has me concerned here, and it might make me use my last objection.
I just picked it.
Okay, son of a gun.
Is what?
The only thing I was going to do is I was going to throw a wrench in things and see if you wanted to consider Landon Dickerson. They just lost Lindsley.
Oh shoot!
No,
I don't think so though. I think they have to oblige to Aaron Rodgers finally.
You think so? Okay, because last year they went quarterback in the first pick.
Yep, I heard he's on the trade block. Aaron's like, that's enough. Experiment over.
Experiment over. Okay, all right. Elijah Moore. All right, he's gone. Now we're going to talk to the Buffalo Bilskis, and I don't think they let Jason Oweh get any further.
And they can have him.
Yeah, I think they like the intangible, the physical abilities that he has. I think they can mold him, and I think they're gonna see that 4.39 40 time, and they're gonna fall in love, and they take Jason Oweh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna object with you there. Another team that could trade out.
Yeah, absolutely.
They get the right offer.
Absolutely. Now I'm on the clock again, of course, because I'm picking the Ravens' second first-round pick.
This is a tricky one.
This is a tricky one, man, because I think they could go a number of different – well, I think they could go two different ways. Excuse me. Well, actually, I guess they could go tackle. They could try and find their right tackle to replace Orlando Brown. But I think that run of tackles eliminated that option for them. So I think it's down to two positions. It's down to edge and down to center, right? It's down to edge and center. Both of my number one guys who I was targeting before the draft are still available, which makes this so hard. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Because, look, the Ravens don't pick again until 94. So they're not getting both of these guys that I like. They're only going to get one of them because the other one is surely going to be gone very soon into the second round if they even make it past 32. So what do I – you know what? I think the more pressing need right now as we're doing this show is edge. So I'm going to go my guy, Zaven Collins. I love me some Zaven Collins. I love his instincts. I love his versatility. I think he'd be perfect to fit in. The guy can cover. The guy can pass rush, and he can stuff the run on the edge. What more can you ask from an outside linebacker here in Baltimore? And he has incredible instincts. I mean, incredible instincts. I think he's the perfect pick. So I'm going to go Zaven Collins, Jimbo.
I'm trying to think if I pull out the objection here because
you know where I'm going to go with my
Landon Dickerson, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
But can you argue that right now edge because look, for all we know, Bradley Bozeman is snapping in his backyard right now and getting that arm work back up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, literally, and this is not a joke, but Lamar Jackson and his wife are almost the same height. Ball player at Alabama, she's pushing 6 foot.
Who's that?
Bradley Bozeman's wife.
Well, look at that. Get her under center.
That's right. He's got he's got a good simulator there. So, you know what? I can't object your pick. I wish I would have used an objection.
Look at that. You didn't use any. I used one, right? I used it early. Okay.
Well, you got one more chance here, and I'm going Najee Harris. I don't care if it's not a need. It's totally we're spoiled and we re-signed everyone, and Fournette might be out of the picture here in the near future. And I'm going Najee Harris because he's explosive and just a pure playmaker.
Yeah, you know, I think that I agree with you. It's not the most pressing need. They got some guys there, but I think he's better than all the guys they have right now, and obviously
Mm-hmm.
for the future, he'll continue to prove to be. The only thing I'd say is I could see them maybe going Elijah Molden. I like what he brings to the versatility he brings as being a guy that can cover your slot and he can play the safety role. I love that about him. But I agree with you. I don't think he gets out of the first round. He is so good, Jimbo. Najee Harris is so good. He's big. He's fast. He can run around you. He can run through you. And by the way, he's also a hell of a receiver already. Can line up in the slot, make guys miss, and make catches in the open field, and then turn them into big plays. So I agree with you. Najee Harris, that's a good pick.
All right. We are done.
We are done. And how does it grade is my question. Does it give you a grade? How do all our – so I had all the evens, right? Is that right?
Yep.
So I had all the evens. Let's quickly go through some of these grades. I want to see.
Well, there's only one problem here.
What'd you do?
I did 7 rounds.
You son of a gun. So we're not going to know our grade.
Let me just run through it again.
Okay, and just quickly throw them in there.
Yeah. It'll be super fast. Sorry for the snafu, guys.
No, I mean that's fine. You're right. I think it would be quick. But it's interesting because with this draft, I think the Ravens. Some people say that they kind of forced themselves into a role where they have to take a tackle early. But I think I want to remind fans that they found their last tackle in the third round in Orlando Brown Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And they found their right tackle a few years ago in Ricky Wagner in the 5th round. And they consistently can find, quality offensive line play. Now outside of left tackle, they've had success on high draft picks. Of course, Ronnie Stanley was I think number 6 overall.
We went Jamar Chase here, right? 5.
Yeah, Jamar Chase. Yep. Mm-hmm. I still have it actually pulled up. I was participating along with you. Yeah. So
did you do the same thing, 7 rounds, or did you just do 1?
I think I did do 7 rounds.
And then Penei Sewell was 6.
Yeah, it was Penei, absolute, and then Devontae, and then Jalen.
Poor guy, he's got to go to Detroit. Ugh.
Yeah.
And this is Mac Jones right here, right?
At
Mac
9.
Attack.
Yep. And then Surtain, Slater. I'm a little surprised that we didn't have Asante going in the first round.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised by that. I think he might go. We might have missed one there. Slater went 11, then Parsons 12, then Darisaw 13, Vera Tucker 14, Morig 15, Horn at 16. Your guy, Big Tevin. He's at 17.
Who did I take? Oh, Morig at 15, right?
Yeah, Morig, then Horn, then Tevin.
All right, let's see. JC Horn, yep.
Yeah.
I know, man. I think that's a great Raiders. I mean, that's a pick right there.
That's a home run. Yeah, home run. Then Jalen Phillips at 18, who I think he could go even higher than that, honestly. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he's top 15.
Wow.
And then Trey Lance, I think that ends up being a pretty accurate spot for him unless the Niners take him at 3, which I'm not so sure I buy into that either. And then you went Caleb Farley. Or I went Caleb Farley. You went Kwity Paye, 21.
Dude, if Kwity drops to 20, man, wow.
Yeah, that would be surprising.
But it's crazy at the top of there's just so many good players.
Yeah, exactly. And
it
seems like every team needs offensive line help.
Yep. Let's see. Who did we take at 22?
Newsome,
the corner, right?
Yep, took Newsome, the corner.
Yeah, because they lost 2.
And then Ojulari, I should say. And then Leatherwood, who I think is a sneaky guy that the Ravens could look at if he slips.
If he's there, you're right.
I think he's sneaky. Christian Barmore, which we got him to 25. I'm not so sure he gets there, but we'll have to wait and see.
Right, that would have been a perfect Browns pick.
Mm-hmm. Jeremiah. Yep. I like, man, finally seeing a receiver in one of our mocks, because as much as our listeners beat us up about not taking one, it just didn't feel right. But the more I'm seeing reports, I think they go Bateman. I think you're right. Or Terrace. I think they can go Terrace as well.
Now, Elijah Moore was the pick I took at 29, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
And then Jason Owe.
Oh man, they can have him and a bag of peanuts.
You know, it's crazy. The draft is such a crapshoot. He could end up being the best of all of
Oh,
them.
I know. Let's see.
just
And then
never
at
know.
31, you took your boy, right? Zaven Collins.
Zaven the Raven. There's a reason his name rhymes with Raven.
Hey!
Okay, it was meant to be. And then, of course, Najee
Najee
to end the
Harris.
first round.
Let's see. Where is Najee? Here he is. All right. Let's get a grade here.
All right, very good.
So what was our overall grade? Does it give it to us? No. Okay.
Let's see. All right, so you got an A+ for the first one.
Yep.
Then I got another one. Let's see our first non-A. What pick did the non-A fall on?
Hey, we got all the way down to 17, and that's a
And
B+.
the one they didn't like was Tevin.
Hey.
I disagree, PFF. Okay, all right. So all good here. I like all the man.
Dude,
we're killing it.
Smashed this draft.
Dang, we sure did. I saw.
I thought that this was going to be like a C+, the Najee Harris pick.
Yeah, it seems like they agree with you there. It's funny because I saw Good Morning Football. They had some Fs, some Ds. So the fact that our worst grade was a B+. Now I want you to save this, Jimmy. Should we take pictures? I want to make sure we get this recorded.
Yeah, I can download this. Yep.
Oh, I like it. Download that because I want to make sure we get graded and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I'm pretty excited. I thought that went well. Now, if the Ravens end up with Bateman and Collins, how are you feeling? At midnight on Thursday.
I'm loving it, man.
Feeling good?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if we end up with those guys, I'm feeling good about it because first of all, because I trust in our front office, and I've been wrong tons of times before, and then guys have ended up turning out. So I've decided to just trust. But yeah, I think it addresses needs on top of just me being trusting towards the front office. Those are needs, right? Lamar's excited. The defense is excited. Morningwig's excited and things like that. And then we go after some tackles and centers. We might get aggressive in the second round. We got a few third-round picks. We might move up. Who knows? Maybe Quinn Miners is there in the third. We don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he will be, but there's a possibility that one of the three guys could fall.
I think Creed Humphrey could be there.
Yeah, not that I like him, but
do you like him better than
Bradley? Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, because then Bradley can stay at left guard, and then we got to pretty darn go to the line.
Right.
As long as Villanueva can do some sort of a transition and band-aid up that right side. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. The good thing about him is he stays healthy and he plays in the games, and that's half the battle is being out there. It seems like so.
Yep.
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think. Did you like our draft? Did you think we missed on a few, or are you hopeful that the Ravens don't take Bateman or don't take Collins? And if so, who do you hope that they grab there out of the guys that were available? I mean, you can't take Tevin if he ain't there. I know a lot of guys are high on him, and you can't take guys that are already off the board. So let us know what you guys think. Did you like the draft? And we'll talk to you guys soon.
See you.